Hi everyone, welcome to my cyberspace. We'll continue our video on Power BI Report video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to add a filter to your paginated report. Now let's get right into it. So we know we have this report already. We have this data. We have two different data sets. And first thing I'm just going to do is so that we're not going to run into any issues. Let's first of all, okay, let's just have this right here. So let's see if it doesn't work. We'll probably just delete it. So let's run this again and we'll see what we have. So imagine like the business wants to have an opportunity to filter for like just maybe executive department to department of engineering, and they don't just want to see everything. So this is something we can do. We need to apply a filter, and applying a filter in paginated reports can be a little bit complicated. So we want to apply a filter just to this table, this first table. And so what we need to do is we need to go back to SQL and do a few things. So they want to apply the filter to the department. So remember, and we have a few number of departments. How do we know the departments that we have? So there's a way you can do this like manually, but it's best to do this automatically where you use it with a query. So let's come right here. We know that we are working on the 2012 data, and so you want to find like what is the distinct filter you want to apply for. So we want to apply a filter based off of department name. So I copy this. So just try to run my query first of all, and I see that. So this says, so we do have like 16 different departments, right? So let's copy this query. So what we have here, I need to, in Power BI Paginated Report, you need to create a data set for the filter you want to add. So, and I'll tell you why we need to do that in a minute. So you click on this data set, click on add data set. Then the data set name is, I always advise you to put para in the beginning of your data set name. It might not write parameter info, just para underscore. So what's the filter we want to create? So it's called department. So there's always short writing in as you write your query. So you don't want to write something very few and something that's also intuitive for somebody to understand. So for 2012, that's the data source, and I want to put the query. So this is the query. So select distinct departments from this. I want to know what's the distinct department so that we can select that from the table. So we click on OK. Now we have the parameter already, but we still need to add the parameter here. The reason is because I need to add the data set is because when I choose to create a parameter, I would need to point to Power BI Report Builder where the parameter is coming from. So follow me through. So I'm just going to right click and add parameter. Then the parameter is what I want to do. So I would normally advise you not to use the same name that you use for like the table name with the parameter. We can just say something like maybe parameter, maybe this parameter department. You can do this way. Maybe write it this way. Now this prompt is what would the user see when they are supposed to select the parameter. So let's say you can put something like select departments. Let's select a department. So we see this is the default, select the department. So leave it as it is, text. And we come to available values. Available values, there's non-specified values. Specified values is if you want to do this like the manual way, but the best bet is to do it from get values from a query. And that was why we had to create this data set table here. Get values from query, and it asks us that where is the query that we want to refer to, where is it coming from. Remember that it's coming from this para department that we created already. So that's why it's best to always create your distinct department, not just the department. Don't just select departments from this, but select distinct department. And what is the field value? That's the department. So the difference between the field value and the label field is, let's say and you probably might not use this in a normal scenario, it's where is this data really pointing to, and what do you, so the label value is what do you want it to be showing. But really your if you just have one field like this, you just have to choose the same thing. So default value is, let's say you want to, what's going to be the default that the person would say. I could say, okay, maybe most of the time is executive department that used to see this, that used to use this data set. So default should just be executive, but we don't want to do that right now to complicate things. So we leave everything as it is and we click on OK. And the next thing we'll do is, so we have this right here and we click on run. So it says select a value, so we click on document control, and you see next thing is you see is let's view report. But we are still seeing like other department. The question is, why are we still seeing other departments? So like, why are we seeing more? We just want, the means the filter is not fit, the filter is not working. There's a reason why it's not working, because there's no connection between this filter we created and our table. So this is something we need to do. So you come here and click on your data set property, and what you need to do is you would have a where clause. Normally this is, I like to just start with, when I want to have a where clause, where 1 equals to 1, you can just write directly. And so what is the, where is the, what is like, what do you want to filter? I want to filter on the department. So you copy this, filter on where department, like in, or we can say department equals to, and I will tell you why in or equals to might be an option that you want to use. So in open brackets at whatever is your parameter name. So remember also, this is like very case sensitive, so make sure you put like the right thing, right? Where department equals to department. You could also do in, but it's still gonna work, but I'm gonna tell you what the difference is in a minute. So let's do that. So it shows that, and let's see if it's going to work right here. So let's choose document control, and let's see if it's just in document control that we see. So right now we see it's working. So where is document control? We could try to choose a different one. Let's say executive, and we view reports. It's just going to show. So remember that it's not, the filter is not working for this table just because we are not featuring on this second table. So that's something you need to know. Now you might also be concerned about, oh, like let's say I want to choose multiple departments. If you want to choose multiple departments, you can come here and just come to right click on the parameter properties and click on allow multiple values. That's something that you want to do. Sometimes it depends on your value. Like you can click allow non-values, allow blank values, but let's click on allow multiple values. So if you click on allow multiple values, this will still not work. Why? Let me come here and I click and I choose. So you will see the option to, let me say document control, engineering and executive. You will see what happens. It says error occurred while processing. It's not going to work. So let's go back, and the reason why it's not working is because right here we said equals to, but we are selecting multiple things. If you understand SQL well, this should be in, right? So either way, so you put this, so in means like within this context of what we chose, and we click on this and we come right here, we run this again. Let's say we choose like a few of the departments, we choose this and this and that, and let's see if it's going to work. So we see right now it's working. We see engineering, executive and document control. So that is how to create a text filter in Power BI Report Builder. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to create a date filter in Power BI Report Builder. Stay tuned.